Okay, hello everybody. Welcome. Good. Thanks for being here. This is Parshas Vayikra. Exciting times. It's very nice. Hashem makes exciting things happen during Parshas Vayikra, because, like, what else are you going to talk about? Parshas Vayikra.
Every time, don't forget, every time you read Parshas Vayikra and you read about the Korban, you're bringing the Korban because we can't bring it today. So just say, before I learn it, I'm reading this in lieu of being able to bring it. If I could have brought a Korban, if I had it right now, there was a temple, I'd bring it. Since I can't, I'm reading this in lieu of bringing it. This is my bringing until you gave me the opportunity to really bring it. And that supposedly gets you you can get it the mitzvah of bringing the Korban.
Yeah, it's considered something svasayim, parim svasayim. Our lips will bring the cows. Okay, so there are two sichas here from the Rebbe that I would like to discuss. One is from one's from 1980. One's from 1982. About Korbanos.
Let's do the one from 1982.
Well, we're gonna do both.
Oh, okay, good.
We're to hit on both of those topics. I think they're connected. Okay. So he starts out the Sicha from the 1980. And he says, it's brought in the Medrash, Amar V'asim Ibnei Ma Matchilin Latinokos B'teres Kohanim Vein Maschilin B'Breishis. So we know that when our tradition says that when you teach little kids, when you start teaching kids Torah, you don't start from Bereshis. When you start teaching them Chumash, you start from Vayikra. Start from Vayikra. You don't start from Bereshis. You start from Vayikra. It's a Medrash, and we're I believe, I don't have any boys, but I believe that we're noheg like this, that we start with Vayikra. We don't necessarily, different people have minhagim, different communities have minhagim, maybe they do the first few psukim or something, or the first parsha or something, and then they go to somewhere else or something like that. But there's a tradition that we start with the little kindalach when they come to cheder. We start with chumash. We don't start with bereshis. We start with vayikra. And what? Why? Ella shatinoikos taharim, bakarbanos taharim. Yavo taharim vis asku b'taharim. The little kindalach are pure, and the karbanos are pure. So let the pure ones come and be involved in the pure matters.
I don't like it.
What?
I don't like it.
Okay. Well, the Rebbe's like, first of all, what does it mean taharim? Because there's not really much discussion about karbanos being called taharim. They're called tamimim. They're called mufcharim. The word taharim is not necessarily a word that is an adjective used commonly by korbanos. You know, the animal has to be, tar, kosher, but he says basically the place that we see that korbanos are called taharim is by Noach. By Noach, that he brought animals that were taharim, right? He had 7. He was asked to bring on the teva, and he brought a pair of every non-kosher animal, but of every kosher animal, he brought 7. He brought 7 taharim. So you see, already at that point in history,
it's got nothing to do with kashrut. It's pure, whatever pure means.
Okay.
So
that's where we see that adjective being used.
Okay.
It doesn't say kosher. It says tahar.
Okay.
Taharim. Okay? In the korbanos that Noach brought. Noach brought korbanos. So it's interesting that Noach brought korbanos, and he brought korbanos from tahar animals. So the Rebbe points out that you see that there was already, even though there's no tradition that Noach kept the Torah at all, right? Unlike the fathers who kept, the avos, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, who kept the Torah and before the Torah was given. Noach, there's no Masorah, there's no tradition that Noach kept the Torah. And yet you still see that certain Torah definitions, Tahor versus Tameh, Noach was already abiding by when it came to the Korbanos. Okay? And So we see the nimtza shebizman Noach haisa kvaras chalul l'gidrei Torah. We see that even by the time of Noach, there's already a beginning of the gedarim of Torah, Torah dika definitions. So even though there was no Matan Torah, and even though he wasn't accepting the Torah or doing the Torah before it was given, there was still Torah in Yanim. Taharim, what's Tahar, what's Tameh. There was what's kosher, what's not kosher, even before the time of the forefathers. And therefore he brought Korbanos dafka from the Taharim. Those that would be in the future be Tahar. They weren't Tahar Tameh then. There wasn't really a concept of Tahar Tameh then. It wasn't really Nageya. There was no activity that was Tahar Tameh. But Noach, the future, the ones in the future would be kosher. He used those. So the fact that we see that by Noach, we see that there was Torah and Tameh, this question of Torah matters only regarding Korbanos, even before Matan Torah. We see that the Korbanos, there's some special thing about Korbanos even before Matan Torah. Even before Matan Torah, Korbanos are around, right? Right. The question he asks also by the other Sikha is, what do we see Korbanos different from the rest of the mitzvahs? Because we see Rashi says something interesting. Rashi says, sorry. Rashi says, it says, Reach nichayach l'Hashem. There should be a pleasing scent to Hashem. And the first time it says it, but in Oilas Bakar, Rashi says, Nichoyach, nachas ruach lifanai. Hashem, he's like speaking like from Hashem speaking. It's nachas ruach lifanai. It's a good feeling for me. It's nachas. I get nachas from this. Shamarti, I said something. V'nasa ritzoni, and my will was done. Okay? Now,
What did he say?
he said, do korbanos. He said, do korbanos. It's at the korbanos, and what does he say? What do we say? Reach nichayach l'Hashem. The korban, the ola korban makes a reach nichayach l'Hashem, makes it a pleasing aroma, a pleasing scent to Hashem. Rashi says that nichayach nachas ruach lefanai. Why is this so pleasing to me? Shamarti, I said it. I said ola. There's such a thing as korban ola. And my will is completed. My will is accomplished.
Who did he say it to?
Hashem.
Himself. He said it to himself. This is Hashem speaking. Hashem. Rashi is trying to understand, what does it mean? Reach nichayach l'Hashem. Reach nichayach l'Hashem.
I don't know what those words mean.
Reach nichayach l'Hashem. It means like a pleasing smell to God.
Not?
Yes, a pleasing smell. Reach nichayach, a reach nichayach l'Hashem, a reach of nichayach, of like that to Hashem. So Rashi says on that, what's Hashem saying when he's what's going through Hashem's mind? Reach nichayach l'Hashem. Hashem saying, it's a nachas ruach. I get such nachas ruach. You know what nachas ruach? Nachas ruach is like nachas. Nachas ruach. Shamarti, I said these mitzvahs, v'nasa ratzoni, and my will is accomplished. Okay, so that's why he's starting with this Rashi. It's a pretty Peladika Rashi. It's a wonder. How do you understand this Rashi?
Hashem said that to himself? He said, I want korbanot. To whom did he say that? Nobody?
No, he said the korbanos. He said he wanted korbanos. He said it in the Torah. The Torah, he commanded korbanos, right? It's funny, he doesn't say tzivesi.
I thought we were talking about Noach, and Noach didn't have the Torah.
Right, so we're trying to understand that Noach, there are funny things about korbanos. Okay, let's just lay it out on the table. There are funny things about korbanos. Okay, korbanos existed before the giving of the Torah.
Yeah.
Korbanos existed. Korbanos to Hashem as a service to Hashem existed before the giving of the Torah. Noach even who did not accept the Torah, who did not keep the Torah, who did not know of the Torah, he was bringing korbanos from a Torah mindset. So we see that there's some connection from korbanos even before there was Matan Torah. We see the Avos brought korbanos, but fine, the Avos were keeping the whole Torah. But Noach,
Did Chaim and Abel also bring offerings to God?
they brought offerings to God. Yes, they brought offerings to God. Yes, they did.
So it
They did, but
started-
they did not bring them. They did not bring them. There was no. They were bringing them like as Thanksgiving. They were giving them as Thanksgiving, and thank you for these crops. And Noach also was bringing them for thanks. You saved me. And we see Noach that what's more about Noach that we see is that he brought them even within the Gedarim of Torah. By Cain and Hevel, we don't see that they were makpid on these kinds of animals or those kinds of. We don't see the Torah describing the korban that Hevel brought, which was from an animal. We don't see. I don't even think. He just says the first of his flock or something like that. I don't know exactly what I can't remember what it says, but it doesn't come to say that they were tahor or they were that he just brought from the best. He just brought from the best, unlike his brother Cain, who did not bring from the best, who brought from kind of the last dregs of whatever. Thank you Hashem, bringing the last dregs, and Hevel was inspired. Let's bring from the best, but it wasn't within the Gedarim of Torah, tahor, tameh. Of things that were connected to Torah halacha. Okay? But so you see even Cain v'Hevel offered karbanos. Okay. So, we see Rashi also said the same thing. By Parshas Tetzaveh and the korbanos of the Shiva Yemei Maluim, it says over there, by the korban of the Elim, it says Reach Nichayach, and Rashi says Reach Nichayach, Nachas Ruach Lefanai Shamarti V'Naseh Ritzoni. He says the same thing over there. Because of Umafarshim. That Rashi, what is Rashi coming to say? Lishlol Tosha Kadosh Baruch Kabel Menucha Mireach HaKorban Shezel Lo Yitachin Klapi Shmaya. So, what is Rashi? Some Mefarshim explain that Rashi. What's Rashi coming to say? You would read and say Nachas Ruach. It says Reach Nichayach Lashem. So you think that Hashem has some kind of enjoyment from the smell. That Hashem has some kind of physical pleasure. He gets some kind of enjoyment from the bringing of the korbanos. And Rashi saying, and these Mefarshim are saying, that's what Rashi's coming to say. Don't think that this is like the volcano that we're throwing in, something to please the gods, and they get some kind of benefit, they get some kind of joy or some kind of pleasure. We're feeding them, and they get their mouth, they get their stomach filled from these korbanos, and that's why it's so reach nichayach. No, it's because Hashem's will is being fulfilled. That's what he says. I said, and it's being done. Oh, that's why it's nice to me. Not because I get pleasure from smoke and barbecue. It's not because Rashi likes to go to Papagayo. Hashem likes to go to Papagayos. It's not that. It's that my will is being done. That's what's pleasing to Hashem. That His will is being done. That's what Rashi's coming to say. You would have thought Reach Nichayach Hashem means that Hashem is like some, he's at the luau and he's enjoying the smells and the tastes and and that's why he's gonna keep us safe because we fill his belly. God forbid, nothing like that. We did His will. He said something and it was done, and that's what he's getting pleasure out of. That's what he likes. But this, the Rebbe is not so enthused about. No, he should have said it by Noach. He should have said it by Noach. Reach Nichayach, by Noach he should have said it. If you're coming to explain and say, don't think that he loves luau's and barbecue, then when he said Reach Nichayach Lashem, over there by Noach, Vayareach Hashem es reach nichayach. That's what it says by Noach. And Hashem smelled the pleasing smell. There, Rashi doesn't say anything. Rashi doesn't say, Hashem's not like the big kahuna and he's just enjoying the barbecue. No, that's not, he doesn't say anything over there. Kevan Shasham first, Yareach Hashem es reach nichayach. There you would think it's even more important if the whole purpose of Rashi, according to these Mefarshim, the whole purpose of Rashi was to come to say he's not some meat lover over there, or some kind of scent, he's getting high off the scent. Then say over there, because it's Hashem smelled, for crying out loud. Hashem smelled and he loved it, so therefore Rashi should come and say, no nostrils, no smelling, this is just because Hashem, he did his will, Rashi doesn't say it over there. So therefore, we have to. Therefore, this is to say, it seems that we need to make a split in this language of Reach and Nichayach when it came to Parshas Rashi, Noyach, right? Noyach, it says Reach and Nichayach it was a pleasant smell, and in our parsha by Tetzaveh and in Parshas Vayikra, because Mashagos of Sham Reach Hanichayach Yesh Makom Lefarish Dahainu Klape Noyach. Share lo nemar sham reach nichayach l'Hashem. There it didn't say reach nichayach l'Hashem. It just said reach nichayach, and maybe it was Noach's own enjoyment. It was Noach's own enjoyment. It's not specific there in the pasuk to whom the enjoyment was, to whom the smell was enjoying, or to whom it was all enjoying for. Okay, it didn't say reach nichayach l'Hashem. Okay, but over here it says reach nichayach l'Hashem. It's Hashem's enjoyable smell. Enjoyable smell.
Have you ever been around an animal while it's being slaughtered?
Not to my recollection.
It smells terrible. It's horrible.
Good. Keep that thought.
Okay.
Aval muvan shabir zeinu maspik. But we're talking about the burning up. Okay,
Oh.
we're not talking about the shlecting. We're talking about the burning up. But keep that. Im ikar. So he says. Okay, so he brings why this isn't. Okay, fine. So let's see where he wants to explain. He also brings the point that it says, Rashi brings other problems of Rashi. So what is Rashi coming to say? So he wants to. So the Rebbe says. Avalkan beParshas korbanos shabonis parshu mitzvahs shel kama korbanos. Here we're talking about several korbanos, right? Vayikra. Because of madgish korbanos elu gormim nachas ruach, and these korbanos, these certain korbanos, create a nachas ruach lamaila for above. It's not understood, which is what Rashi needs to come to explain. Ma nishtanu korbanos mikol mitzvahs satira. What is the difference from korbanos that they create some kind of pleasure for Hashem, and not the other mitzvahs? Why doesn't it say by tefillin? Reach nichayach, nachas ruach l'Hashem, reach nichayach. What about when we do incense, or when we do tzedakah, or when we do Shabbos, or when we do whatever? Why doesn't the Torah say over there? Oh, that creates a real nachas ruach for Hashem. Why by korbanos? Why all of a sudden korbanos, which are according to our sensibilities completely wacko? Right? Yes. Shechting an animal in burning it up and singing and dancing. That doesn't seem so Jewish to us. Okay, that's not in our experience of what's Jewish, of our physical experience. And yet that's the mitzvahs, those are the mitzvahs that say, oh, that creates the nachas ruach to Hashem. Shari zemuvan, shenachas ruach sheba korbanos eina ela mizeh shebezeh oived ha'adam es boroi, v'hari avoda Hashem yisbarach hi al yidei hamitzvahs kulon. So if the whole thing, and what does Rashi say there already? It's like if the joy is, if the pleasure that Hashem gets is that we're doing His will, well, the mitzvahs are His will. So what is korbanos? What are korbanos so special that all of a sudden doing His will by korbanos, we're creating this great pleasure for Hashem that you don't see that pleasure being indicated directly in the Torah by any other mitzvah aside from korbanos? Why isn't explained there in all the other mitzvahs that it's a nichayach Hashem, it's pleasing to Hashem, us doing other mitzvahs?
For Kosh, definitely sure that in the Ketorahs he doesn't use that same language.
A reach nichayach Hashem? I'm not 100% sure.
I think it might.
Maybe it does. But even if it's not a reach, let's say it's just a nichayach Hashem. It's a nichayach Hashem. It's something that causes nachas ruach for Hashem when we do mitzvahs. So why does it only say that it causes nachas ruach Hashem by korbanos?
You've asked that same question 4 times.
Okay. Now, this problem, have you ever thought about that question?
Just recently, yeah.
You did?
since you've been saying it.
Okay.
12 times,
Okay. I mean, did you know that there's such a thing? You ever heard those words? "Reach nichayach l'Hashem, it causes nachas ruach"? You heard that, right?
Yes.
What is up with korbanos? What is up with korbanos? Right? Let's just ask it. Let's just ask it. V'koshi zebo Rashi liyashiv beperusha al nichayach.
You can say Ketavos is a korban, it's just not an animal korban, but it's a korban. Maybe that's why the language could be used. Not the answer why the language.
Yeah, I mean, we get pleasure from that. First of all, well, yeah, okay, yeah. If that's the case, that it says that over there. Because she's a bo Rashi liyashiv perush al nichayach nachas ruach l'sleim shemarti v'naser ritzoni shanichayach nachas ruach l'shem miyuchad bekorbanos hu bezeh sheyesh kan oifen miyuchad b'kiyum mitzvahs. There's a certain special thing about korbanos that you don't have by the other mitzvahs, that he's saying, that Hashem says, oh, shamarti, I said it, v'nasa ritzoni, and my will was completed, my will was performed, my will was done. Now what does this mean? Okay, what does this mean? There's something special like korbanos. I didn't answer it yet. We didn't answer yet. Okay? Sharbe mefarshim, da-da-da-da-da. V'alva b'shirashi, pirusha Torah. Second. Okay. Now, Heim inin klal b'yosef. Shezoi avoida b'mishkan b'mikdash. Hine od zos b'nogei lekorbanos. She'ena she'la rak ma tam l'mitzvah zo. Okay, we're trying to put korbanos in the context of all of our mitzvahs. Okay, what's different between korbanos and the rest of the mitzvahs? Meaning, it's not just the question, what's the reason for this mitzvah? Ela l'chayro hu inin hefech hatam. Bringing korbanos seems to be opposite of seichel. Shesorfin behema, you burn up an animal. Lolo toelis, right? No reason. No benefit. You don't get to eat it. You don't get to sell the skin. You don't get to, right? We're Jews here. What do you mean? This is a big we're wasting money over here. Okay. Every day. That's why it says tzav, right? It says tzav. Rashi there, next expression. Rashi tzav because it's a lashon ziruz because it's chesaron kis. Every day, two the Tamid offering, the Tamid Baboker and the Bein Arbaim, those are 2 shepsela every single day. That's over 700 sheeps a year, just done. Just burn them up every day. Burn them up. For what? At least let's get the milk. Let's get the sheep. Let's get the wool. No. Burn it up. Shari ein la adam klum misreifa zo. Upshita she'ein shaykh lema shekadosh baruch hu ne'enem misreifa. Certainly can't say that Hashem gets any benefit from burning up an animal. Hakarbanos v'tamul avid memoinim shel Yisrael. The Lord tells us it's strange. You just like throwing away the Jews' money for no reason. This is why Rashi says, I'm happy because I said something and it was done. This is the intention with the matter of korbanos. It does not look like there's any benefit to this. I'm doing it just because Hashem said so. I have no idea what's going on here. V'sulo, and for no other reason. What?
Welcome to my life.
Kloimar, no, see, okay. But you still want dinner to be hot. You still want dinner to be cooked. So you do know why you're doing it. Okay, Kloimar, ein a perush, sheyesh bezeh to'eles, ela sha'adam eino yodea mahi. Don't say, Kloimar, ein a perush, it's not the perush, we're not saying that there's to'eles and a person just doesn't know, like by chukim, right? Chukos. We have the chukos of Torah that we do them and we don't know why we're doing them, but we do them. Kashrus, shatnez, para aduma. We don't know how it works, why it's like this, but we do them. That's not what we're saying here. Kishamakriv karban mamin sheis toelas bezeh. And when we bring korbanos, we think, oh, there's some toelas. It's just hidden for me. No. Ela shekola toelas ba'karban ba'kravas korban hu rak is there. It's just because I'm doing Hashem's will. There's no other point to it. Don't think there's another point. It's very interesting because the Rambam, I don't know where the Rambam says this. I think he may say by Mora Nevuchim, but he says that the reason that Hashem commanded korbanos, maybe he says the Mishnah Torah, I'm not sure. He says it somewhere that and I'm paraphrasing that korbanos are really all arbitrary. the number, the type, the this, the that. It's all arbitrary. And the whole reason that Hashem commanded us karbanos is because so we wouldn't do avodah zarah. Because everybody else is doing avodah zarah around us. Everyone else is doing these crazy Michigan things. And so Hashem felt that we needed to have this kind of some rituals too, so that we would not be too tempted to go and have the barbecue over there. We'll have a barbecue by us. So according to that Rambam, there's really no reason for karbanos. There's no benefit for karbanos except that we're just staying in the camp. It's like NCSY. It's like what is it? I don't guess I don't want to talk bad about it. I don't know. Like you add negia. Negia can save Yiddishkeit. That's the other touching can save Yiddishkeit. You let teenagers hang out together. You let boys and girls hang out together. And it can save Yiddishkeit. So whatever, it's something that, according to the Rambam, that and this is a little bit. This is very in that line. That there is no benefit. There's nothing to korbanos. Don't get all halig. It's just you doing what Hashem said. That's the point of korbanos. You're just doing what Hashem said. There's no point except you're listening to Hashem. Just which korbanos does it say reach nichayech l'Hashem? Which korbanos does it say you're a pleasing aroma to the Eibishter? Lo b'shara mitzvahs, it doesn't say by any other mitzvahs. Ki rak b'korbanos yesh nichayech nachas ruach v'hana miyuchedes l'mayla. There's a certain pleasure that Hashem gets from these korbanos, and rak mipnei she'amarti, that I said. Okay, so hold on, we need to keep clarifying here. Ela adayin ein zabir maspik. It's still not enough. Kiloch ara maila zu. This maila, which many of us are thinking, what is this maila? This is a maila? There's no point. What's the maila? What's the maila? But it's a maila. It's a maila to just do what Hashem says because it's what Hashem said. Not because we have any other ulterior interest, not because Hashem gets some, like we think that we're, like we have this whole picture and this whole cheshbin of we're doing mitzvahs because it does this and accomplishes this and da-da-da-da-da, and it's good for me, it's good for Hashem, Hashem likes da-da-da. So karbanas are like, there's no denial. You can't be in denial with karbanas. There is no point. There is no point. Hashem said so and we do it. That's it. The Tamid offering, the Ola offering, there's no, we just burn up an animal on a korban. We just burn up an animal on the mizbeach. There are a lot of halachas. We got to follow the rules. We got to follow the halachas. We got to make sure everything's kosher v'yosher. We got to check our I's, dot our T's, whatever it is. We got to make sure it's all right. For what? Because Hashem said so. Not because there's any other reason. Not because Hashem likes karbanas. Not because Hashem gets pleasure from seeing animals burned up holy on the altar. Hashem doesn't get anything from that except that we just listen to Him to do something that He said for no other reason but that Hashem said it. Okay. But we have chukim, right? So what's the difference with chukim? They're gzeiras hamelech below shum tam. They're also decrees of the king without any reason. L'chara efshar loymar al pi ma shekasav Ramban b'nergei l'chukim she'ein hakavana b'hem shetiyeh gzeiras hamelech malchei hamelachim b'shum makom below tam. Don't think that the chukim they're just rules that have no reason. Rak chukim hem gzeiras hamelech asher yachoik b'malchusoi bli sheyigala toyalasam. We don't know what the reason is. We don't know why it's good. We don't know why wearing shatnez is bad and yes, keeping kosher is good. We don't know what the reason is, right? It's a chayk. We do it. Hashem says to do it. We don't know why we're doing it, but there is a reason why. There is some benefit to the world or something. And in addition to just following Hashem's will, we just don't know what it is. And we accept that because we're hold of the Malchus, we hold of Hashem's kingship. He says to do this. I don't get exactly why, but there's some reason why, but I don't know why. It's okay. Hashem told me to do that. But this betam nachon v'tola shlema. This is according to the Ramban. They have some kind of reason. There's still something behind them that's fueling their being commanded. Not just listen to me. That's the Ramban. Al pi zeh yesh lamar shezoh yechilik ben chukim lekarbanos. This is the difference between chukim and karbanos. Shebechukim af shekiyum amal yedei bnei Yisrael hu rak liyiras hamalchus. Even though we're fulfilling chukim just because we're afraid and we have honor and awe for the king, and so we'll do what he says. He says, stay away from chazer. Fine, I'll stay away from chazer. I'll stay away from shellfish. I don't know why. There's no seeming point to me, but Hashem has his reasons, so I'll listen. So I'll do that. And we're doing it. Without knowing, or what the benefit is, Hashem has there's a certain function every chayk has. We don't know what the reason is. Fine. The Eibishter, it's up to the Eibishter, let him figure it out. Masha ein came bekorbanis, shekol in yanam hu rak, shamarti v'naseh ritzoni. I said it and they do it. Wild. Hainu shekol toichnam hu shamarti v'naseh ritzoni. Bit too low. It's interesting, right? Okay.
Is that the Maksana of the Rebbe? That's the Rebbe's reason that he brings that?
Yeah. Aval ein lefarish came beperish Rashi ki mi pashas loshen Rashi b'nogel lechukim below shum tam she'ein tam bedavar. Right? Rashi says other places by chukim it says she'ein tam bedavar. V'lo she'ein tam on yadua. He doesn't say that. He says that there's no reason by the chukim. So we're trying to answer up Rashi, right? We're trying to answer up what Rashi is saying by the korbanos, there's something special by the korbanos. So to bring me the Ramban to tell me the split between chukim and korbanos, well, that has to fit with Rashi. Okay? So shelishitaso ein tam lekol chukim lo rak she'ein anu yodim atam behem. But by Rashi, it sounds like by chukim there's also no reason. So what are you going to say? Vim kain shuv kasha. So that's we're back in a difficulty. Ma nishtana korbanos mikol chukei Torah. So that answer only works for the Ramban, who says that by chukim there's a reason we just don't know. By korbanos there's no reason. Rashi says by chukim there's also no reason. So we're back to our kasha. V'yesh loymar b'zeh. Al pi diuk lashon Rashi nachas ruach lefanai shamarti v'naseh ritzoni. Shlechayra what? So let's examine. He's going deep into the words of Rashi. Nachas ruach. Nachas rucho shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'ch'ar mizeh she'adam kayem v'aser ritzoni yisparach. V'avalei lamar. He should have said, Rashi should have said, shamarti v'asisam. Not v'amarti v'naseh. Right? It says v'amarti, I said it and it was done. Naseh ritzoni. It should have been, I said it and you completed it. You did it. You all did my will. I said it and you did it. You performed it. Doesn't say that. It says, and it was done. Nif'al. It was done. Okay, that's one question. 2, Kevan Shikar Adgasha hu nasa ritzoini. Right? If he says it was my will was done, then why in the beginning he said shamarti? He should have said shetzivesi, shegazarti. Right? He says I said it and my will was done. He should have said I commanded it and my will was done. I decreed it and my will was done. Why you say I said it? What do you mean I said it? You commanded it. That's another problem. Okay, those two problems. Okay, this is what Rashi's these two diukim, right? It says shamarti, it should have said I commanded, and it says v'naseh ritzoni, my will was done, not that you did my will. Why isn't the focus on you having done my will? Not that my will was accomplished, but that you did it. Okay. Okay. When we say that chukim, shatnez, paraduma, that they don't have a reason, kedei lahashrish b'bnei Yisrael yiras hamalchus. That is, even according to Rashi, they don't have a reason. That's just in order to root, to deepen in Klal Yisrael a fear and an awe of the king, of kingship. That we do the mitzvahs just because the decree of the king. Vim kein yesh b'zeh toelas l'adam. Therefore, there is a benefit to a person. That I am being able to be makabel ol malchus shamayim. I get to be makabel ol malchus shamayim. I get to do the will of the king without reason. That is a benefit to me. That's a benefit called ol malchus shamayim. I'm being makabel ol malchus shamayim, and therefore I get to do the will of the king. So there's a toelas for me that I get to do those chukim. The fact that that Hashem has a reason for them, good. There's no reason for me to do them except that I'm doing the will of the king. And that is good for me. That's good to do the will of the king. So I still am getting a benefit. Masha'en kin bekarbanos. Karbanos, it's not like that. Mudga shehem kivyachol tzorech gavoya. By Karbanos, the emphasis on is that Hashem needs this. This is what Hashem needs. It's tzorech gavoya, right? We say it's tzorech gavoya. What's tzorech gavoya? It means,
Go.
yeah, that Hashem needs it. It's a need of Hashem. I'm filling a need of Hashem. Like, like the boss needs a cup of coffee, I need to bring a cup of coffee. Okay? It's tzorech gavoya. I have nothing to do with it. Tzorech gavoya. Hashem has a need, I'm filling the need, I'm bringing the cup of coffee. So karbanos are said in that way. They're tzorech gavoya. Asher riach nichoyach l'Hashem. It's Hashem's geschmack. Right? We don't see that by chukim. V'lachein pirush Rashi kavana b'karbanos tzrich liyos rak shamarti v'naser etzoni. Namely, that I said it and my will was done. Not that a person accepted on himself to do my will.
Why I want to eat a cheeseburger. Why can I not eat a cheeseburger? Because he doesn't want me to.
Because he doesn't want you to. So when you do that,
Yeah.
when you don't do that, when you refrain,
Yeah.
so you're refraining. Why?
He doesn't want me to.
Because he doesn't want you to. Right? It's for you. So it's still for you. There's still a to'elas that you're listening to Hashem. He says, don't do this. It's not good. I don't know why. I don't know. Eating cheeseburgers seems fine to me. But, it's like it's a guy who listens to his doctor. It's like a guy who listens to his doctor. His doctor says, I don't know what's wrong with eating cheeseburgers.
Why do I bring an offering?
What?
Same thing.
Oh, no, but we bring an offering. No, it's not the same thing.
Why?
Because he doesn't care that you bring the carbon. He cares that the carbon's brought. You see? Nasa ritzoni. I said and my will was done. Not that you did my will. I don't care you do my will. So my will is done. That and we talk about korbanos of tzarech gavoya. That it's not about I want you to not eat cheeseburgers. I want you to not make shatnez. I want you to keep kosher. No. I need the carbon. Reach nichayach l'Hashem. It's my good smell. It's my pleasure that you're doing. It's Hashem's. So we get nothing out of it. We get nothing out of it. We don't even get out of it that we're just listening to Hashem. And following His will. Because this is just something He needs. We're just supplying Him what He needs. It's not about me supplying it, or me listening, me following, me dutifully. It's about Hashem getting what He needs.
Okay.
So unlike chukim, which are I'm providing this, I'm doing this, it's for my relationship with the Rebbeinu Shalom, this is, He needs it. He needs it. It's tzarech gavoa. Tzarech gavoa. The Rebbe didn't make up those words, tzarech gavoa. Okay? People who are uneasy about Hashem needing things. I don't know how you get around the problem that says Ratzon Hashem, right? Everybody agrees there's such a thing called Ratzon Hashem. Hashem has a will, right? That means He wants something. Well, you don't want anything unless you don't have it. Unless you need it, right? Otherwise, you don't want it because you got it. If you want it because there's a need. It's not. It's just like grammar. I don't know. Okay. Fine. So by korbanos, there's something special that it's has nothing to do with me doing it, with the people, with the Jews doing it. It's that it's done, right? Nasa ratzoni, that my will is done. Not that you do it, not that the person accepts on themselves and listens to me and but that my will is done. Elorak sheratzon shel kadosh baruch hu yiskayem, just that Hashem's will is fulfilled. Nasa ratzoni me'elov kilu enkan gavra osa mitzvah ela korban nasa me'elov. It's not even that a person does the carbon. It's just that the carbon is done by itself. That's the emphasis. You do my will. It's not for you, it's for me. It's for Hashem. This is the special pleasure that Hashem has in korbanos. That I said to do it, and it was done. This is the same reason it says, I said it. Not that I decreed, not that I commanded. Because a decree and a command, it's about my relationship with you. Okay. You do it what I say, right? It's a benefit to you to listen to me. Korbanos is nothing about you listening to me. You listening to Hashem. Korbanos is about Hashem getting His fill of korbanos. And I said, and it was done.
So korbanos are not being done now.
Correct.
But the Rosh Hashiva said that if we read over the karbonos in the morning, it's as if we brought karbonos, but we're not. So Hashem would not be getting that pleasure, because
Why?
there are no korbanos being brought.
They're being read though every morning.
But that's not what Hashem said.
But you can't do what Hashem says because there is no physical.
Okay, he brings. Hold on. You're taking me off topic.
I'm sorry.
So 1 second. I'll get back to that. Okay?
Okay.
Because he brings that point right here.
Okay.
I think. Okay. Now we say okay, so if this is the pshat, it makes sense that it only says reach nichayach by certain karbanos and not other karbanos. Which karbanos would you think that it should be said by if this is correct, and which karbanos should it be said by if this is correct? Which karbanos should it not be said by?
Ones that we have benefit from.
Which are?
I don't know the names of them.
Like that we bring for kapara.
Okay.
Like that we bring for kapara, like a chatas, an asham, or that we're bringing because we want to express thanks, a toda. So in a chanami, a toda, an asham, a chatas, it doesn't say reach nichayach. It doesn't say reach nichayach. Because by those karbanis, if this is right, it makes sense. Because those karbanis we're bringing for our own benefit. We're getting kapara, we're saying, we're bringing thanks. So that's for my own benefit.
We get a good steak.
So it doesn't say reach nichayach, exactly. Okay. So this, I think, so there's something about karbanis that are beyond Matan Torah. Okay? About something about karbanis that are even before Matan, like even before Matan Torah there was karbanis. Noach was bringing karbanis even before Matan Torah. Okay, let's see. So now let's understand why are the little children, why are the children being, we say Yavi Taharim Bias Asku B'Taharim, let the little kindalach, the 5-year-olds, the 6-year-olds, the 7-year-olds, let them, who are so tar, let them start with Parshas Vayikra and the Parsha of Korbanos, let them, that's the best, for them to deal with the Taharim, with the pure Korbanos.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, they're only saying it, right? They're only learning it. They're not actually bringing korbanos. Their involvement in the korbanos is just by saying Parshas Vayikra and reading and learning. What?
It seems weird
Yeah.
that we would start children on the death and destruction of animals.
Death and destruction. Okay. Al pi kolam anal muvan gamatam shadafka inin yavot tarim v'yasku b'tarim akriya b'tara kohanim ayidei tinoikas. This is what keeps the world alive. The kindalach are saying Parshas Vayikra, are saying Sefer Vayikra. It keeps the world going. Why? Because when it comes to the Gedolim, when adults are saying Korbanos, Parshas or Korbanos, Hari Eina Maisa Elorakis Hasku Mechshava B'Dibor. There's no Maisa. You're not actually shechting anything. You're just speaking and thinking. Shemevar Rabbeinu Azakin, the Alter Rebbe said, Shemachshava Zu Tfila Avoida. Machshava zu tefila, avoda shebelev shekeneged karbanis, v'dibur. So the machshava is the tefila and avoda shebelev, and the dibur is the Talmud Torah de karbanis. V'ikar inyan beis halavushim, right? The machshava, the thought, and the dibur, the speech. Hulagalos es seichel adam. Those two faculties, speech and thought, they reveal the thinking of a person. O haregesh v'amidoy shelo, hainu shelo haosios. It's not just the letters. Shelo haosios, heina ikar ela haseichel o hamida hamulubashim bosis. It's not just the words. It's the thoughts and the feelings that are being expressed by those words. So if we're just reading Korbanos and we're not thinking about anything, so then that's not the best. The best is to use our machshava and our dibur. That is a full expression. It's not just the letters and the words that we're saying, that we're pronunciating, but it's with our thought. Kevan shemashi yeshnu begilu hu seichel v'regesh adam einin keres kan kolkach hamayla atzmis de bnei Yisrael. So therefore, since we get our heads involved, when we say it, we're thinking about it. We're thinking about, I hope that this really works. Is this really working? What did Rabbi Gold say? If I say this, then all these machshavas are in our mind as we're saying this, or what do I have to do later today? Or oh, this is going to be good for me, or whatever it is. I got all these machshavas in my mind as I'm saying the parsha of the Karbanis.
It's the will of God.
And therefore, it's not nicker, it's not clear. The korbanos are this expression of Hashem's connection to the Jewish people without okay, we this whole first part of the class, the korbanos, they have no reason. There's no reason. There's no reason. That means something has no reason. Hashem also doesn't care. Hashem needs korbanos. It's in a certain sense arbitrary. Like the Rambam says, it's a little arbitrary. It could have been anything. Shamarti v'nasa ritzoni. I said it and it's done. It's not you. I don't need you to do anything for me.
He wants it. Ritzoni.
It's nice that his will is being done. But there's a certain pleasure that Hashem gets beyond all other mitzvahs when we're involved in thinking about what we get out of the mitzvahs. There's a certain diminishment of Hashem's pleasure in that mitzvah because we are somehow involved in thinking about how this works for us. I know that we've all taken the pill that the mitzvahs are for us, and the Yiddishkeit's all for us. Okay, but this idea is flying in the face of that. Okay, because karbanos are not for us; they're just for Hashem. It's not even us doing them. It's not even us doing. If we had an AI robot who could follow all of the things, and they don't have machshavas, piggle or whatever. I don't know. Maybe that's enough. An AI Kohen robot, who could maybe they could do. Maybe they could have kavana. That would be maybe, I don't know. But there's a certain level of we don't, Hashem doesn't need anything from us to love us, to be connected to us. This hakrava, this korban, we're so close. Krava, korban, close, karov. It's not because we're doing something. In fact, it's because there's nothing, we're not doing anything.
So
we're destroying an animal.
Why does he want it?
There's a particular pleasure that Hashem has beyond all the other mitzvahs that just what he says is done without any benefit to anything. We are stuck in our cheshbonos about how this is benefiting me, how this is benefiting the world, how this is benefiting XYZ. And that is in a certain sense a reason why Hashem should like us. Because there's a benefit. I'm doing something good. I'm doing something positive, and therefore tit for tat. I do good, Hashem does good. I do what Hashem wants, Hashem does what I want. Like, there's some self in there. And korbanos are a complete strip of that. Because there is these korbanos that I just burn up on the altar. We just burn them up on the altar basically just because Hashem said so. There's no toelis. And that's what Hashem loves. Oh my gosh. There's nothing they're getting. They can't even think there's something they're getting out of this. It's great. They're just doing it because I said so. It's not because Hashem's a power-hungry maniac, Chas v'shalom.
Korban hatas, I am getting something.
And therefore it doesn't say reach nichayach. It doesn't say reach nichayach by that.
By the way, I just asked you a situation with the Zilmans do in the Cheder. They start off with learning Vayikra for the trup and for all the notes and how to lane. They only go through the first beginning of the first parsha, and then they go back to Bereshit. Okay, so that's the minhag. The different communities have different minhag, and they start Vayikra. They do some part of Vayikra, and then they move. Okay, they do that for the reason you said, like the
Medrash
says.
Yeah,
they're pure in the Vayikra. So that's where they learn their trup and they learn how to lane from. And
so that the Kindlech are reading it and learning it. They're starting with this. Because this is the beginning of teaching Kindlech. Kodem shigil chinuch. Before they're higil chinuch, right? They're not even like the avos who took on the mitzvahs, but not because they were chayiv, just because they wanted to get regular to it, right? He says the Rebbe says the three levels. There's the people who after bar mitzvah, they're chayiv, that's after Matan Torah. There's the avos, that's like us before when we were magil chinuch. We get to an educational level, time of where we need to be following the mitzvahs because we're about to start getting them for real. And then there's the kids. There's the tinoikos that go to cheder. They're still Jewish. They're still Jewish, but there's no mitzvah really on them. But they're Jewish. And so that's why they're with the korbanos. The beginning of their learning should be with the korbanos. Before they even get to chinuch, so they have no idea what they're doing. So they have no idea. When we're already saying the korbanos, we're already full of ideas. We're already full of ideas. They've got no ideas. They've got no ideas. They've got no understanding. And their learning is just reading. They don't even have machshava. They just have dibur. Akimas hasfasaim. They're just moving their lips. Hine davar zeh dafka ma'ora magala es ava atzmis shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This reveals the intrinsic and essential love of Hashem. Umemela hapula she'al yedei zeh hi betachlis hashleimus. This action is the most beautiful, perfect action. These little kids reading and having no idea what they're saying. And this promises the world's sustainability. So we need to get in touch with our inner child. We need to get in touch with our childrenness, with our childhoodness, where Hashem loves us for no reason. For no reason. Not because we did something right, not because we're a good boy, not because we had an idea, not because anything. That's all distraction. That's all distraction. The ultimate essential love that Hashem has for every Yid has to do with nothing. Has to do with just the fact that I'm alive. And that is what we need to connect to. And you want to see that live? Go to a cheder and see 5-year-olds reading Parshas Vayikra. And that is sustaining the world. Why? Because there's no reason. It's these kids have no idea what they're saying. These words that Hashem is just saying, do this for no reason. And they're not even attempting to put a reason on. They're totally understanding it exactly how it should be understood. No understanding. And when we put all our understandings and our accountings and our cheshbonos, our calculations on it, we're muddling it up. We have to get back to our inner child, the child that Hashem loves, who did nothing already. They did nothing. Imagine you love a little kid. Why? What did they do? Nothing. Nothing. But you love them. What? Because they're just me. They're my little kid. And that is how Hashem loves us. And we get a little bit with all the mitzvahs and everything like that. We get a little confused. We think that Hashem needs us to do all these mitzvahs to love us and to this and to that. And so Karbanos reminds us beyond even chukim, beyond everything, that Hashem loves us no matter what. That it's not about what we understand. It's not about what we do, what we accomplish, what we give, what we da. We just Hashem wants. He says, it's not. It doesn't need. I don't need to accomplish anything to get Hashem's love, and Bezrat Hashem, we should see Hashem's love in full display, especially during war when we're out of our normal habits. We're thinking, oh gosh, what do I need? I need extra schuyas. I need extra this. You know what extra schus is? Is to just know that you don't need any extra schuyas for Hashem's love. That's a big extra schus. To just say Hashem, I'm living here, I'm alive, you're keeping me alive, you love me, I have a nefesh elokis, I have a chelik elokomi mal mamish inside of me, that's it. Everything else is bonus. Okay, be blessed.
Very good.